today, and I declare that I have a dream. No, I'm not black, and I don't remember my dreams, and I might blow up. No, that's just me. I just live. I tell it how it is. I give a rest, and I give a break, but I don't work too much, for heaven's sake. So let me tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to be president, and yours come true. Lead less lies. Never gonna tell you how to despise or wise. Tales of cracks, wise cracks. I just give exact facts, like how much contact can you make when you work all days and come back for 7 days a week, never learning how to speak another way, just earning specialization, private corporations controlling everything with monopolies and making the high-tech gadgets break your back, rearrange how much they recycle in, they know how to protect their investments, all Chinese made, slave trade, you just conquered by the white braids, blonde hair everywhere, and the news so aware. I don't even care how much you see inside of me, like a pahSibla, because I don't care about your face. You're just an image that can just trace. So I'm going to be president. I'm going to say this. We need to replace every institution, starting with education, and we're going to switch to the Khan Institute, or the Khan Academy, K-A-H-A-N. The Google invested on their 10th birthday, Project 10 to the 100th. It's because education works in years and increments on a level that is slow, when the education can be tablets and you can be free-minded and work on the go. Then we're going to switch to another situation where we live in our basic needs being met, and that would be guaranteed, and it wouldn't sound like a utopistic idea because we never have to work again with machines doing everything for you, and we would just be the maintenance to keep sure that we have the highest upgraded machinery living to protect us and protect the way of life. The American dream would just be to show that we can all live with our basic needs met, and no institution to take them away from you, because they've destroyed every habitat, and if we don't, we'll lose the most important thing, which is the way to survive without having to struggle, and that's what civilization's based on. So if we want to be president, have a president that will replace every institution, including government, we are going to basically say we are going to be a Wikipedia and WikiLeaks government that informs upon itself what is at our best interest. Is it to secretly torture and detain people all around the world, brainwash, clone, incrementally deceive them with presidential speeches that could be organized without the president even knowing he did it, brainwashed in his sleep, just stuff like the Taliban kept secret, and then kill a clone that took a bunch of years to grow, and basically act like they killed him when maybe he's really alive still, and you'll never know. And so if you want to be aware of what is possible, you have to know that you're under complete surveillance. I could be kidnapped just for wanting to be president. So anyways, I don't want to be president per se. What I want to do is give away that right that is owned by the white man, and take it away and make sure that the way of life, which is actually ecological way of life, has nothing to do with economies. And so what we do is we replace every institution, starting with the way we live. We have to grow food at high multi-story greenhouses and high concentration right then and there, with fluorescent lighting, and then and outdoor lighting, and then we have to have homes that are dug deep in the ground with the best drilling technology, and we have to have them fortified so that we're all protected, and then we need to have families assorted like condominiums, just in high class status, so that we all live in luxury and have basic needs met in a very humanitarianistic way, a social utopia that doesn't make separation or struggle your mandated way, or to relieve you of having happiness, and making you have to be paranoid that people that you care about won't survive. And that's happening to billions of people, and eventually it'll happen to all of us. So if you need a president that will just say, do away with every institution and create a better utopia, not just because it's the rich already have it and they condescend upon everyone that is socialist. It's not socialism, it's not any ideology, because everyone has practiced dictatorship or democracy, and everything within those scales is just run by corruption. We need to give away to the Wikipedia and make a Wikipedia constitution, a Wikipedia internet democracy, and then popularize the best initiatives, vote with popularity driven on a local level only at town hall meetings where facilitators give means of creating a straw poll, and then the top two in the straw are rerun in an instant runoff ballot that will reveal the top winner of any issue on a local level. That's what you do with great facilitators that encourage debate on a local level with community activism at large, just to enable awareness, but not to create radical behavior, because in the end we want consensus to be the process that we determine ourselves. We are self-determined individuals if we are going to be in a democracy. If we're not self-determined, if we have monopolies being counted as persons running the affairs of human life just because their organizational power is heavy in the ability to materialize information so fast and steady that they are profiteering off of it, well, you have to say, do you want militarization and profiteers to basically cripple your families and lead to the highest divorce rates, the highest rates of cancer, the highest rates of illness, the highest rates of suicide, all depression, a culture of alienation, roots and deception, everything just written as the golden age in history and everything? I just gotta say that I'm gonna try to be your president one day if I'm old enough. Where I'm 28 right now. I was born on tax day. It's just gonna take time. I'm only 28. I don't know if I can run yet, but I think Obama was, since I have to comment on people like this, Obama, here's what I think of Obama. Obama is like Osama. They just rhyme like a comma. They keep coming after the sheep and charging them like the Dalai Lama. They push brooms like they're sweeping over us. We're like chess pieces without a player to even capture the minds, like the Slayer. In a game, videos I tame out like I came out of the gates screaming, heads blinded, head flash. Everybody's zines. I can't even. Never mind. So what I'm trying to say is, if you can't even think, if you can't even do anything in society that would matter, because artists are worth pieces of shit, art isn't worth anything, music isn't worth anything, then you have nothing to say, and you aren't really an individual. So we have to get away with profit, because monopolies are the only one that can profit off our intellectual property rights. Schools have taken your property rights intellectually at college levels, and they force you to give away your information for free. And they act like you're learning. When you're really not learning, you're just giving them everything that they ever desired, which was all access to knowledge, and studious behavior produces good work ethics. And you're just a stupid fool for paying for it. Now, Obama, he's a black guy, and I'll point that out. But I'm not racist, but I would like to say he got elected because it produced a reaction in people that loved something in democracy when they never did before. They don't love it any more than they did now because we're in more debt. And I don't even want to say how much debt we are in, because the Republicans have sabotaged the economy with the privateers. And anytime a real populist of a socialist nature gets elected, the government will cease to exist, or because it will sabotage all its people. And if the Republicans control it, their whole goal is to create mass deception and deceive you in a way that just says you have no power, live in fear, we are going to keep control of this country because we're the rich. And they are in a losing battle because they can never win a manpower race with China, who is more intellectually smart in the automotive industry, the airline industry, and all these things, and they preserve basic needs to billions more people than we do, and they have higher rates of productivity. And it's not because they're slaves, it's because they worked hard to rip us off. Now that they have ripped us off completely, they can cut us off and we would be drowning. And if we don't do anything to say we have an economy that can be safe, we are in trouble. And now we are in trouble because nobody has the answer, because the economy is the only answer that really matters. So what we need to do is restore basic needs to everyone by giving a bomb shelter proof buildings in the oceans and on land, which will churn up water from wave power and then desalinate them for ourselves, and then we'll never have to do anything but fill up the aquifers in the world and create more habitat, which will cool the core of the planet. If you take out the water and all the freaking where all the kettle ponds are and all the things that created aquifers in the first place from glaciers, you will destroy the planet. So therefore, with roads all being on top of the surface of the trapping heat during the sunny days, and cars just spewing out carbon emissions, you lose oxygen levels and your brain starts to increase in speeds because you have less oxygen. Your brain expands and your brain eats oxygen to survive. Now many people have no ability to display knowledge like I do, because they never studied the greatest minds in the world, which are Zen, Buddhist, Confucius. They're all cultures. I don't want to mention Allah because you get hurt if you mention him. I want to say he was probably a good guy. I don't read religious texts because I'm not religious. I just study wisdom, and I don't discriminate against people because of their color or their ethnicity. But anyways, I wanted to just point out more things about me that make me a great candidate to be president. My camera's not working right now, and it's like the first time it's never worked for me, because really I've used this camera thousands of times. My speech is slurring, and I don't see why the camera's doing that. Move your foot away from the computer, maybe. Alright, so I have guests. Can I get somebody to clap for me, because I'm going to try to be president. Alright, this is crazy. I'm going to get myself shot at. Now, this guy will never step in front of a bullet for me, I hope. Now, okay. Now, he said he won't. Okay. Alright. So when you have basic needs met and you live in luxury, you never have to work, and machines do everything for you, and you get to share all your time with your family and your loved ones under surveillance that's basically meant to make sure no weapons exist on the premises, no one can hurt anyone without it being de-escalated by people that intervene on every level, on every floor, that are basically community members that just safeguard the family and atmosphere of a good vibe amongst all the people's way of life, and cultures can be representing themselves with families there at heart. So anyways, I want to say that if your basic needs are met and you have a place to live and you never have to work, isn't that what you should vote for? Because what you're voting for now is the lesser of two evils. If you want somebody who was born on tax day to a mother named Cynthia Grace Day and a father named Rick Stover, then basically what I have to deal with is a living hell. I don't want to be somebody in life. I just wanted to be an artist, a musician, an author. And then I realized that I have to make money in order to prove I'm successful, in order to be happy. Otherwise, I might as well just stay hiding in society. But it really, I'm going to have to hide if I'm a celebrity, and I've always liked to hide, so I might as well be a celebrity, you know. I don't want to tell anybody how insecure it makes me feel to have to be somebody, but I've actually desired myself to be somebody important one day, and now there's nothing else to do, so I'm here to give you my first speech. And I haven't been drinking. And this speech is really just the beginning of getting to know what really ends the all arguments. What is the argument? The end justifies the means? Or follow the money? Well, I have no money. I don't need your money to run for president. I'm running for president without any money financially contributed to me. That is my campaign goal. My second campaign goal is to do away with every institution once I am elected. My third desire is to convince anyone who doesn't agree with me to just listen. My fourth goal is to just have ability to be a facilitator amongst me that isn't controlled by a monopoly. I want facilitators that are controlled by the people, like Democracy Now! Is biased, or go back to a role where you just say everyone's biased because they want to tell you that their idea is more powerful than yours. What you have to do is go to popularization, diffuse the argument with a facilitator that is a robot, and a robot can control a conversation and a debate as a think tank. And when you use think tank technology on a tablet scale and mass-produced tablets ourselves, we can use microbot computer technology. Like Microsoft could be our corporation. We could make one in the likeness that's of the people, for the people, by the people, and we could supply everyone with basic needs that are the highest technological advancements, and it wouldn't cost very much money. We could melt all cars and create gadgetry for ourselves while building basic needs. And then if we removed all the roads, we could build a light rail system. This light rail system could run on solar technology, and basically supply free clean transportation everywhere around the world. Then we could have reverse rivers that would also ecologically restore habitat from the sea across deserts to replenish aquifers and put native habitat back into a growing matrix of the planet's surface. We need to cool down hotspots just to stop global warming. We can't actually just pretend it's going to go away. And if glaciers recede to a point beyond repair by the next 3 years, we will never have a light of day. More ecological species have been destroyed. Ecological dysfunction is like a family. When you have marriage, divorces, kids don't grow up happy, and they'd end up not wanting to be anybody but crazy. And so you got crazy makers and crazies, people that are crazy, and I want to say that I'm not crazy about anything that's going on in this world. We need to do something right now. And I'm going to start by saying, hello, my name is Ryan James Day. I'm running for president. I hate mentioning that because as soon as I get to be president, I'm going to abolish it. I'm going to abolish it, and I'm going to abolish it beginning by saying we're going to have a wicked constitution, and then we're going to have internet democracy. We're going to start voting in popularized groups using technology that is not taken away from the poor. It'll be manufactured for everyone to freely disperse. Communication technology will be a basic right, and health technology like homeopathic remedies and things like pot will begin to refuel the actual economy, because oil can be generated by hemp and pulp can be generated by hemp that can equal energy. More energy than an acre of redwoods can grow in paper pulp, and the amount of years it takes to grow a tree is outrageous that we would cut it down for the news when the news is bullshit. So we're going to get rid of newspapers. We're going to make everything paper free unless we're using hemp technology, but hemp will be made for clothing, it'll be made for paper, it'll be made for ropes, and we're going to work together to create ability to create community functioning on an instant level where we will socialize, the ability to have volunteer groups commit to meeting themselves online, like an online scheme, a brainstorm, should we do this, and then a volunteer group will be transcribed into the town hall meeting, and it'll be addressed by the whole community there at large, with activism present to make sure that people aren't creating volunteer groups that disenfranchise or hurt or harm people. Those groups will lose their charter to be volunteer groups. The volunteer groups will be run with complete transparency and visibility, and if you are a watchdog agency, you have the ability to make sure you preserve the peace, make sure respect is in order, respect and dignity are upheld, and people save face in transactions where disputes occur. And if everybody is trained in crisis intervention training, and we all wear watches that measure our heart rate, when our heart rate goes up, we can have alerts from our family to make sure people are protected, and people instantly know where each other are by GPS. We're going to have to live in high concentrated areas. Weapons are going to be all removed, and people are going to live as families, but at a close-knit level with the community, to create volunteer work agencies to serve people their basic needs, when machines will do the majority. But we will popularize the best and brightest ideas and initiatives to successfully show that we are intelligent, we are proud, we are protected, and we can live in a way that serves the whole world to ecologically restore itself in a harmonious intervention. Vote for Ryan Day.